What's up, everybody? I hope you like that intro for Aurox. Tonight is a celebration of a long-awaited product by my friends Jorgen and Taraz over at Get Aurox. And I've got a special guest on tonight, somebody who I've known since, I think, 2016 or so, when he started blowing up in the crypto space. He was the founder of Crypto Coin Trader. It was probably the biggest group on Facebook at the time talking about crypto and especially trading and all the shit coins galore, all the ICOs. Joe and I were involved, and we had a lot of fun together. Thanks for everybody coming out. You guys can really enjoy this one. Joe and I are not the technical guys, but we know about crypto. So here is Joe.
What's up? What's up?
Hey, Joe. Good to see you, man. Glad you're here.
Bro, it's the OG Randy Hilarski, man. It's been so long since we've been on a live together.
Yeah, I mean, geez. Well, I don't think I've ever done one directly with you. I've always been like as a moderator.
We have been in the same general area of every live video for at least 3 years in a row, from 2016 to 2019, dude.
Yeah, exactly. You know, guys, Joe, everyone here knows my history. They all know that, I used to be Token Magic, when we used to launch projects, and even prior to Token Magic, when I was working with companies, and I'd always come to you. We worked with you with Crypto Coin Trader, which was, that group was amazing. And I remember it blew up in 2017. Yep. I think Jeff Kudakis now owns it from TrustSwap, or not TrustSwap. Is it TrustSwap? Is that what his project was?
Jeff, Adam, and I are the admins of it now. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you're still involved. All right. Cool. Yep. Yeah, I had Jeff on about a year ago. We've been waiting for a Pulse chain over here for since August of 2021, and we're getting very impatient. But
I can imagine.
Yeah. So we want it to come. We want it to launch. And one thing that's good for us is that the Aurox wallet is here. We don't have to worry about bullshit Metamask anymore. We can import all of our wallets over to Aurox. And if you guys saw the intro video there's so many things available. And just break it down. Why these guys went this path, why they took on such a big chunk. I mean, this is difficult. This is not something you just do overnight. These guys have been doing this, guys, for about almost 2 years.
Yep. No, and I completely agree. And just like going back, if you think back, I think me and Taras became friends probably about the same time. I don't know if you guys knew each other beforehand, but excuse me. But when me and Taras started to chat with each other and started to get to know each other, I guess it was like the winter of 2018, leading into the new year, is when Taras called me and was like, "Hey Joe, we're building this terminal. What do you think?" And I was just I was like blown away with just the concept at the time. Like, it was just so, we back then we got one sliver of real news it could have been bad news. It didn't matter if it was mentioned on mainstream news back in 2016, 2017, it was a big deal, and as Bitcoin had made that run up to 20,000, I just remember, thinking like, this is what America, this is what the world, this is what the average human needs to really start taking this seriously. And obviously that has cascaded, and then they got to the point where the terminal just wasn't enough for them to accomplish the goals. And that's when the token came into play, and I guess that was February 2021. And then obviously the wallet now, because of the need for something like this to do this and to make sure it's done right, sometimes you gotta do it yourself, right? And that's where I think Jorgi and Taras really put their foot down and said, we got to do this. It's gonna take longer than we thought. It's gonna be exhausting, but it's necessary for us to change the way crypto is used. So they really were ambitious from the very beginning. And I can't say that I never doubted them, but I was always like, man, that's a lot. That's a lot, G. That's a lot
to bite off, man.
But lo and behold, I mean, not that I've ever doubted them, and I really want to make that clear. But I've come in. I'm the official community director for Aurox now, and it's just a wonderful, really cool role to have. It's really a dream job. Like, who wouldn't want this? So I know that you can relate to when you say, when you sit down next to a project that you really, really believe in. It makes it easy to really be passionate, to really be inspired.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey guys, I do want to apologize for my internet connection tonight. Yeah, I'm seeing the bars. It's low for some odd reason. It was raining all day today. Maybe it has something to do with the rain. But when I get it done, and I can re-upload it, and it'll be crystal clear on my end.
Yeah, and
So,
your voice. I mean, there's no skipping. Like you've been completely consistent with your audio.
oh, there it goes. Now it just popped up a little bit. Good.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, one thing I do want to say about Yorgi and Taraz is that, especially Taraz, because he was in our group. Joe and I are both in my small group, about 40 something people in crypto, people behind the scenes who launched projects, who, whales, some people that were very big whales.
Yep.
And Taraz was in that group. So I learned a lot from him. He was, I would consider him a master trader.
Absolutely. 100%.
And even in the traditional markets, Taraz is a master trader, and that's where he came out, and he built the original Aurox, which was the trading platform, the competitor to TradingView, and it's been absolutely amazing. The Aurox indicator, I use it every night. I show everybody here, we're green right now. The Aurox indicator on the monthly for Bitcoin and Ethereum and Hex just went green on the monthly. So that's big stuff. We haven't had a green in months. It's been 11 months.
Yeah, it's been rough. But on that note, I've never been the best trader. I've always been a holder. I think that you can relate to some of that, at least for like when I knew you, that's kind of what you were. You weren't really day trading. You may be doing that now, but back in the day, we were just buying up things and hoping that they went up. And obviously there was a little bit of due diligence, and there were as much as you could have, and still goes for today. It's not like a lot of these projects have anything more than a hope and a dream, and some of them will succeed, but the Aurox indicator and the entire ecosystem as a whole, it really allows the average investor to become a trader without having to have that real technical background in trading. And, it made me capable of going on. And of course, I always say this: be responsible and never play with more than, because there's a chance that you could lose a lot or all if you're margin trading. I've learned my lessons margin trading. I try not to do it at all at this point, but I remember when I didn't have a lot and it felt like for me to play for something that it mattered, boy, was I wrong. But back then I used to think I had to go on 25X with, a couple $1,000. Had I just been slow and very methodical in my growth, I would have been completely fine. But I actually had to learn that lesson the hard way, just like many people in crypto. And I can't say enough about what the Aurox trading terminal as a whole did for me in that methodical approach. In that 4 hour, I went from a 30-minute candle trader to a 4 hour trader to a 1 month trader, right? So similar to what you probably have experienced in your time, because it was a lot of it was just guessing, but the Aurox terminal has allowed that to really become a little bit more of a staple in my life.
Yeah. I remember when I was making charts, and I would say the Aurox indicator just went green on the daily, and I got a private message from Taraz, bro. It's not built for the daily. What the hell are you doing? Right. I'm like, oh, okay, fair enough, Taraz.
Dude, I used to do it on the 4 hour. He would tell me the same thing. He's like, bro, what are you doing?
It's built for the weekly and the monthly, Randy.
Yep.
I'm like, oh,
yep.
And I had people messaging me, and they'd be like, oh, how could it's not working very well. Well, what time frame are you using? And that was a big change for me. And then I added things on like the MA and the SMA crossing over, and the simple stuff, because I'm not a trader. I'm not a TA guy. And what Aurox did for me is it changed my whole perspective of making decisions. And if you do it this way, if you use it, you only maybe trade. If you're just doing Bitcoin and Ethereum, maybe you do like 6 or 7 trades a year.
Absolutely. And you gotta really kind of blend yourself into the trading atmosphere. Like you got to watch it. You got to play with, like this theoretical concept at times. And again, this is not trading advice. I'm not trying to put this out there, but this is what worked for me was, I had to pretend like I was trading, and then, kind of almost FOMO myself into believing in what I was doing, which was really believing in what the Aurox terminal and the indicators allowed me to do. But, this all kind of ties in really well with the wallet. And, it's kind of what the team experienced on a macro level was that they had all these small pieces working really, really well. And they were missing one major thing. And that was a wallet that could accommodate all the things that they were trying to do. And, one of my favorite things, Randy, is making sure that the users get rewarded, and the rewards concept that was implemented and now being executed it's second to none. It reminds me a lot of the Binance referral program where, it was really lucrative for the users. And this is what the reward system does. And while Aurox does have a really, really good referral program, I'm really speaking about the Aurox Society and the concept that you can level up your wallet. And once you get to a level 2, now you're actually eligible to participate in these rewards.
Yes.
And once you get to level 3, you're now eligible in this group. And early on, man, the early adopters are going to be the ones that are ahead of the pack, who are literally eligible, because the whole concept of the wallet is keep them safe and reward them for using it. Period. I mean, it's that simple. It's really that easy. And this is, all that money in between the middleman. And Randy, we used to get in some nice little arguments, debates back in the day. And I'm sure
Joe and I were always fighting.
Yeah. But I think that, I've probably understood a lot more as I've grown older, why you're at least coming from that perspective. And one of the things that pisses me off the most a lot of times is watching these middlemen and centralized authorities just take. Things could be so much cheaper, but everybody's got to get a little piece. Well, Aurox has truly eliminated that to the best of their ability, and they've rewarded you while still being a business. I mean, like, it's still a business. So it's exciting to watch this stuff transform into reality. And this day was really, really special for the whole team. I know that.
Yeah, it sure was. I do have a question, and because this is pretty current news that's coming out about MetaMask. It keeps disappearing. Why would users leave Meta when it does have a pretty good history of security?
Yeah, that's a great question. And look, I still have MetaMask right now. I mean, I'm probably not getting rid of MetaMask, and until the Aurox wallet is in full capacity, capable of completely removing MetaMask from my life. It's okay. I mean, I'm sure G still has MetaMask, right? Yeah. MetaMask, and this is what I'm going to be very respectful of MetaMask. Just like I know that you probably disagree with this, but just like Coinbase, they've done a lot of good for the space. They've helped evolve it to a certain point, and then they get capped, and then like people are just complacent at times. Well, think about this. MetaMask has made billions and billions of dollars over the course of how many years now? And how much have they upgraded? What's changed, really?
Just the swapping.
Minimal, right?
Had, right?
I mean, minimal change.
Swapping where they make money. That's all they've added.
and you can't tell me a company that came from really a self-funded, they never raised money. They didn't do an ICO. They didn't go there. The only amount of money that was raised was recently in their private raise, which was an equity-based raise. And they never sold tokens for profit. And to me, this is such an indicator of who they are as their character of their people and as people, and what their intent is for the long haul, because they didn't come in here try to get rich quick and then be like, yeah, we'll see if this works out. No, these people put their own money in, and they went to war with all these centralized authorities to create a better environment. And I don't want to pretend like I'm skipping around your question here, because it is a great question. Why would I leave MetaMask? You're going to want to leave MetaMask because MetaMask is not even trying to compete with the features. And one of the favorite features of the security aspect, I'm going to name 3 of them. All right. Number 1, transaction simulation. Before you ever make a transaction, like if you go and you're going to swap something on Uniswap, it's going to say, do you want to simulate this transaction? You have to go out of your way to say no. Why wouldn't you simulate transaction? When you hit simulate transaction, it's going to show you. And this goes for if you connect to a phishing site. This goes to if you were going to get hacked, or you're going to put your 12 word passphrase in. Any of these common scams or concepts of what scammers would do to target you, or even if you're just making a bad trade with a malicious smart contract, they have a security measure literally set up for every step of the way. It's no doubt about it, the most secure wallet in the world right now, period.
Yeah, it's not even built for Web3, bro. It's Web3 all over it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, and like I said, I don't want to take away from MetaMask that they still have a place, or that, the end is all for MetaMask. I still have MetaMask. I'm sure G still has MetaMask. They've done a lot, but MetaMask is like MySpace was, right? They just never evolved, and the things that they did evolve were just not enough.
Yeah. And I can't believe they didn't do an airdrop of a token. I could have sworn they were going to do it. I've been saying for years that the airdrop was coming for MetaMask, and they never did it. And you would have thought it would have been just a no-brainer for them. We saw Uniswap do it, and I made a killing on the Uniswap airdrop, and whether the other ones that we got in 2020 and 2021. Absolutely. But I thought that was coming, and it never came. I got this. This is a good question. You might not know the answer, because I know you're like me. You're not very technical, but this is an important one to a lot of people right now, because it's very relative to what's going on. The Aurox, does it collect IP addresses like they do with Infura? Infura is what MetaMask uses as their main source of information. Is Infura the one that we're using on MetaMask as well?
Actually, Georgie went on when he did the altcoin, or no, excuse me, when he did the Decentral panel on day 2 of Decentral. He actually somewhat defended MetaMask a little bit, saying that, it's not uncommon for any like for everything that's DeFi, like MetaMask still has to like be accountable to where they're being hosted from. So if you're in the United States, there are certain regulatory concepts, and I know that you disagree with them, Randy, for sure, but that doesn't mean that if you disagree that you don't have consequences if you didn't do something, right? So I don't want to speak for Georgie here. He did answer this question. I wish I would have like understood this more, or made more of an effort to understand. But that's not to say that necessarily that Aurox is doing that, but there may be some certain parameters around like what's the big deal kind of thing. Like
what I'll do is I'll reach out and I'll ask him how much information is collected, and if it's just like MetaMask, just let me know. The thing is that you can choose different RPCs, right?
Absolutely.
Or you can different ways of having your wallet speak to the blockchain.
Well, I don't get on the blockchain without a VPN anyways. So
okay, that's another thing too.
Yep. And that's not to say that you should have to, but I recommend that to everybody is, protect yourself by saying simply, you know what, I'm just going to change where my location is.
Absolutely. Hey, do you have any idea what's going on? Possible iPhone?
Absolutely. So I'm an iPhone user, number one, and I cannot wait for the iPhone app to be released. I can say
I already have it.
Right. Well, technically I do too, but I mean, I can't wait till it's released so that I can talk about it and get people to. So the iOS app, obviously, as you can see, is still very ready. It's very close to being ready. I think there's certain concepts within the wallet that they want to release with. I know for a fact they really contemplated, do we go live today with both? But it would not be the version that you would download and be like, this is what I want. Going live with a desktop, like a desktop Chrome extension, is very different than putting it in the hands of the casual user who's going to get on and not be able to function it, and they may never ever look at the app again. And I think that's probably the strategy behind maybe parts of the reason why they did not launch it today. It could have been launched today. As you can see, that it's a working product, but is it at the version that you would want everybody to see it at if you're going to go spend all this money marketing? I believe the answer is no, but I can't say that officially. That's what I do believe that where we stand.
I know that Taraz made it clear that not all the features are available yet. There's a lot of stuff coming that he can't. He told us. I know he told you the same thing he's told me. Don't tell people.
Exactly right. Yep. Exactly.
There's a question here. Will Aurox have stocks, ETFs, etc., symbols in the future? That'd be cool to have that.
There's one of those features that is going to be soon. And just to go back to answer the question about when iOS, I would expect it to be. I'll put it to you this way. You could tell me it's going to be here tomorrow and I wouldn't be surprised, or you could tell me it's going to be here on Christmas and I wouldn't be surprised. I would be surprised if it bled on longer than that. So very soon.
All right, great. That's good to hear. I mean, there's some stuff coming. When Taraz told me, I'm like, oh, snap.
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Metamask can't touch this shit.
They cannot.
I was like, yeah.
And that's the whole point. Like, I don't think, like to the question of why would I switch, or why would people switch from MetaMask? I don't expect people to switch on day one forever, right? Like there's people in crypto, especially, like they don't want to be flustered with a lot of unknowns or things that aren't consistently normal. Like I don't mind using MetaMask because I know the limitations and I've never tried to extend past that. But as Web3, especially going in this next bull market, you're going to see a lot of evolution in the space, and it's going to be really limited for MetaMask. They're just not going to be able to do certain things. So I think it'll be a very natural transition. And I don't know another wallet that is even remotely close to what Aurox is on MVP, let alone what it's going to look like in 6 months.
Yeah, absolutely. Here, let me just, we got a couple of other questions here. Is Black Label Expat, says, can you do a password splitting like the Shamir backup on Trezor? I don't know anything about that. Black Label Expat, do you know what he's talking about there?
So, I mean, the thing about Trezor is that it's a hard wallet, right? So I'm going to side with you, Randy, here. I've never done a password splitting concept, but I do know that there are going to be multiple ways to be able to get into your account. I know that there is going to be ways to get in, like to store your private key in a manner that you don't actually have to have your private key. You can memorize it similar to maybe like a username and password, maybe a little bit different. I'm not going to go into any detail on that. You may know a little bit about it, but I don't have the go ahead to speak on it. Nevertheless, I would say that there's going to be a lot of cool options, but I don't know anything about password splitting.
Well, I do know they have a backup system where if you do lose your passphrase, they have a decentralized way that's not custodial where you'll be able to recover your passphrase. Now that's awesome. I've never had that before. So I guess I can't remember the name of the Gnosis safe has something like that. But I've never actually opened a Gnosis safe besides what I have for a Staker app, which is just a hex-based app. So I've never actually gone and done one there.
So I'm kind of old school. I've written down every key that I have, and if I get to the point that I need it, like, dude, at one point I had this Google Doc that I just like on the cloud, right? Not even stored locally, just literally on the cloud. I used to have all of my my private keys on it.
Yeah, we all did that shit, bro.
Until guess what? I got hacked. And
you got hacked?
Oh yeah, dude. Oh man. And like the thing is this, like I only had myself to be mad at, because for a year I'd probably been like, every day I was like, you know what? I really need to print these out and just delete all this stuff. Right. So from that point, now, fortunately, what I did have on that Google Doc, I probably lost a total of $3,600, which today would be worth a lot more, keep in mind. Nevertheless, it was not as much as it could have been, for sure.
Yeah. But if you lost that in 2019, that was a considerable amount of money because we all got poor.
Yep. September 2019.
Yeah. Yep. Ouch. Yep. That's right before the bull market started to come back.
Yeah. And then I got fished in September 2020.
What the hell, man?
I know.
That was a rough time.
Bro. That one hurt a little bit more. But again, these are complacency issues of the human behavior looking to be lazy. And I literally was being the laziest you could be. So, and it was momentary that I'd only moved a larger sum of money into an exchange. And you know what? They got me. How did they know? I guess you got scammers who all they do is try to scam.
Yes, they do. Absolutely. Soldier Pete says, please bring back the calculator that shows if you went according up and down arrows, how much profit or loss you would make. I never used that calculator. Did you?
I mean, I have on some of the exchanges like Bybit or something like that. I've never done it on Aurox.
Yeah, never done Aurox.
That may have been before I realized how to work a chart, but nevertheless, the new update for the terminal, folks, looks really, really good. I don't know if you have any. I mean, you can go to the Medium and look up that, but I mean, not necessarily. I'm not asking you to, but if you go to the Aurox Medium, the Q1 or Q4 update that he put out, there's some really great screenshots of the new terminal. And it's going to have a tremendous amount of additional features.
And this guy says, Aurox had a very shady ICO launch. Don't trust them. They didn't have an ICO.
They didn't have an ICO launch.
What are you talking about, bro? As a teammate, as somebody on the team, I had to compete with everybody because they put the coins on Uniswap.
Fair launch. They had to buy them themselves.
Yeah, it was a fair launch. They said, okay, go get them, motherfuckers.
Yep.
We're all fighting.
Dude,
for our
they
coins.
literally had to buy them themselves, and then they got front run during the buy.
I got a failed transaction. The cheapest I got mine, they launched at 20 cents, but the earliest ones I got were like $2.20.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, there was no ICO. I don't know who the hell you are, what you're thinking, Ben.
Yeah. I would like for him to respond to that too.
Yeah, that was,
and I don't want to disrespect somebody because he literally could have gotten confused with something else, but
yeah, he could have talked about another coin that, yeah, we didn't have a ICO. Sorry. It would be nice to have DXY and SPX on Aurox for sure. And I think that Taraz would probably want to have that too, because he's a big traditional trader guy.
Yes. Among other people on the team. Like it's something that's been in the roadmap, but now is it like literally within reach.
Yep. Does Aurox support privacy coins? No, this is mostly EVM, Ethereum virtual machine. So anything that's on Ethereum will be there.
And I will say though that I've spoken to G about this specifically, and I said, I asked him, I was like, where will we be, like, as far as like Sol or other things that aren't necessarily in this, back before Sol started having all these issues, I guess before they really started having these issues, because they've always had issues. But he was like, we're gonna have as many as we possibly can, so including Bitcoin. So hopefully that's down the road.
It'd have to be future, because that's a lot of add-ons. That's stuff that's not easy. Even Metamask doesn't have that, right?
Yep.
So is Aurox safer than Metamask? Absolutely. I'm just going to say right now, yeah.
Yes. And, it's not like the core principles of Metamask and Aurox are that different. And it's very important to understand, like, it all comes down to you. Can you be consistent, responsible, and make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to do through education and understanding? But what Aurox has done is put in some protective measures for the average brand new person, or whether you're me who's just being lazy. Had I had the Aurox wallet when I got fished, not a chance I would have got fished, because when I clicked that link saying, hey, you need to reset your Bybit password, guess what I would have done? Right. I would have been told right there. Well, actually it was Bybit, so it was centralized exchange, but you get the point here. If you click on something like that and you connect to it, it's going to let you know immediately, hey, this is a malicious smart contract. Or it's going to tell you, hey, look, this is a verified smart contract that Fios has gone through and documented. It's not centralized. It's a decentralized source. Nevertheless, but yes, the answer to that is yes. There's more features for security, and it's not even close.
Absolutely. I think it's just going to explode too as more and more things come online.
Yes. Agree.
The simulation feature is the big thing, though. That's going to save all of us plebs who make mistakes, especially for the NFT marketplace. I saw a lot of people getting scammed in the NFT world during this last bull run.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. I didn't even think about that side of things. So true. It's
a weird market. People go in, I'm getting a free image.
Yeah.
They have no idea what kind of metadata they just downloaded, or, they don't know how to use crypto.
And thus is why I have done my very best to just be as simple as I can when it comes to these NFTs. I didn't even know that was the case.
Yeah. And at first 20,000 people who download the wallet get a founder's NFT.
Yeah. Well, I think it's 10,000. Did he? It's possible that he changed that, but the last I heard was 10,000.
Oh,
okay. 20,000 may very, very well be the case. Yeah.
I also heard that the first there was an Easter egg hunt.
Yeah, scavenger hunt. Yep.
And scavenger hunt.
Well, it was called Easter egg hunt last time. Yeah.
Yeah. So they won $2,500 in the first one.
5,000 tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow's a new one.
Yep.
New scavenger hunt starts tomorrow. Scavenger hunt starts tomorrow, and it's worth $5,000. So you just go around all the different places on the web that have to do with NFTs and all that, and you could possibly win $5,000.
Yeah. So, now listen, like when I was a little intimidated by the concept, because G is a genius. Like Yorgi is like one of these dudes who just is so smart that you don't realize how smart he is, because he has some pretty decent social skills until you hear him start trying to explain, and I'm like, holy shit. Like I'm excuse my language. I'm just blown away. But the really cool thing about what they did with the scavenger hunt, the Easter egg hunt last time, this is a true scavenger hunt this time, is literally all it took was this. You go and find any Web3 website that, obviously you don't want to go to some scam site, but you want to have some common sense when you do this. But, I used Chain Games as an example because Adam Barlam's a really good friend of mine, and you just go there and you connect your wallet, and then boom, you get a dialog box that pops up and says, you have completed the 7th word of the seed phrase, and then it gives it to you. You write it down, and then you move on to the next one, and you just continue to search random, whether it be Uniswap, you go to OpenSea. There's a few hints here and there, but the first like 4-6 hours, you're not getting any hints. Just throw you out into the wild open of Web3. But there's only so many Web3 sites, right? And you can actually start eliminating a lot of them.
A couple hundred.
I think there's closer to like 2,000 now. But there's probably what you said, the number you just said is probably the more realistic number of what would you do if you were Aurox, right? You could really narrow it down. So you're more right than the fact that there are actually like 2,000 Web3 different sites now. It's really down. You could eliminate a lot of them. And every time they do one of these scavenger hunts, more than likely they're not going to be overusing the same ones, right? So
yeah, I didn't even because I'm not good at that kind of stuff, so I didn't even participate.
But the thing, we could do it, both of us. Like you could even team up. Actually, that's not allowed.
I'm not doing it. I'm a team member. It is not fair.
Exactly. If I was a malicious, maybe wannabe, you could break it up really and start and go through and split it with somebody or something.
I'm sure people are doing that.
You would think, but people are greedy, man. Like you would think that a team would, it might be best. There's no stopping anybody from doing that.
Nope. This is a good question. Does the holders of Aurox token earn fees? And could you go into the referrals?
Sure.
Referral program.
So the Aurox token is not designed to you hold it and you get like a certain percentage of fees. That would be a security token. This is a overwhelmingly, probably in its true form, once we get to that point, it'll be one of the very few true utility tokens that exist that still you can benefit in many ways from being around. I gotta be careful how I say that, you understand. So the actual way that you earn is, let me start with this. How does the Aurox token actually help you, right? Well, Randy, I know that you know a lot of this, if not all of it, but what you're gonna get when you have the Aurox, the Euros token, is that you're gonna have the ability to stake it or to hold it, and then, but whether you're just holding it or staking it is actually irrelevant. You will earn by saving, because you will have access to some of the more advanced areas of the ecosystem, and these will give you more opportunities, and including, being eligible for certain contests and like, that's the fun side. But truly, like, you will have, if, like, let's just say, and these are theoretical numbers, I do not know, because obviously as prices change quickly in the value, I don't think it's going to be token based, as in like you have to have 10,000 tokens to access this.
I think you already said it's going to be USD based.
Exactly. So as long as you have this amount of Euros token in your wallet, you're good for this month, right? And even if the price were to come down some, which it would adjust the amount that you would need to have in your wallet, you would not be necessarily punished by, if you didn't have enough, or if the price had gone up, you would still have access in regards to whatever the amount you hold. Now, I don't want to ramble here. The purpose of the Aurox Euros token is utility, but the utility is going to still be limited to the amount of tokens that exist in the Aurox circulating supply, which right now is like 567,000. The max supply is 1 million, not to include some of the stuff that may have been burned or lost or dusted up in other wallets. So you can imagine, as this thing becomes more popular, and you can't convince me, Randy, you don't even try, that Aurox isn't going to have some exceptionally large success based off of the commitment to the team. And I know you know this as well as I do. But the team has really worked hard to get to this point, and they have not even begun to talk about like all the really cool stuff. And that even goes into the Aurox Lend program, which that's another way that the Aurox token is going to come into play, along with some of the other.
They got a partnership with Change now, so you can do swaps.
Yes. Yep.
So different chains, like you were saying earlier, like with the wallet, you don't have Bitcoin now, but you can use Change now right in the wallet and do swaps there.
Absolutely. Yep. And I know they have a plan for fiat on ramp. Originally it was KYC free, which would have been awesome. However, obviously, as they're a US company, it's probably going to be a lot harder, especially since they do have the intention of going public in Q1 next year. All right, cool. And the referral program, I forgot.
Oh yeah, go through the referral program first. Yeah, do that.
Let me wet the whistle real quick. Okay, so the referral program, I kind of alluded to how I thought it was actually written so well, and compare it a lot. Actually, all the rewards as a whole, I compared them to how Binance launched theirs. If you think back, Randy, I mean, you may have some success or some experience with some of these other referral programs, but
the Hex referral program, I knocked it out of the park.
Yeah,
really.
I've heard good things about what Hex did. And obviously, depending when you got into like Binance referral program, whatnot, I'm not necessarily referencing if you got in like at the very beginning of Hex or whatnot, but you've been a Hex guy for as long as I've heard about Hex. In fact, you're probably who I heard about Hex from a long time ago. Wish I would have listened, right? I didn't. Nevertheless, the Binance referral program, which I thought was rolled out for its time, the best that anything could possibly be back in 2017, October. And it was done really well. And I know that they looked into that and how it worked for them to structure this. So to make this simple, there is a immediate system, and then there's a long-term system. The immediate system is that, hey, Randy, here's my referral code. And then for the rest of my life, or forever, should I say, because even the wallet technically can be passed down. I mean, just because I'm gone doesn't mean that, but I will receive 50% of the commission that comes from the fees that you incur using the wallet, right? So that's forever, right? You don't have to go overboard for this to be worth it to you. Like you don't have to hit grand slams and get 10,000 people for this to earn itself, because guess what? If people are swapping Ethereum, and as I'm a big believer in Ethereum, a big believer in Bitcoin, which obviously is not implemented in the wallet yet, but eventually when people swap that, you're getting sats, you're getting the Vitalik, whatever version of Ethereum we call for the point zeros in ETH, you're going to start earning that. And eventually this stuff really starts to add up. And, I like to use the example. I remember, when I had actually done one of these really scammy cloud mining companies back in the day, like 2016, 2017. And,
Me too.
dude, like I put way too much money into this thing. At the time, I put probably like $3,000 into the maximum amount of hashing power. And while I never got that money back, and I would have been better off, honestly, the whole time, I would have been better off just keeping my $3,000 Bitcoin, which was like 3.5 Bitcoin, full Bitcoin at the time. I still ended up with like 0.6, 0.75 Bitcoin at the end of the day, but I didn't think anything of it. I was like, I lost all this Bitcoin. Well, guess what? 2021 comes around and I notice, oh, what the heck? I've got a Bitcoin wallet that I found in my old Google Doc that I printed out that I'm going to open it up. And it was where I got my mining stuff sent to. And yeah, my $4,000 would have been worth a lot more, but I'm not going to even pretend like I wouldn't have traded that $4,000 of Bitcoin or whatever it would have been. I literally had 0.7, 0.65 Bitcoin in my wallet from that.
Beautiful.
And just to think back, like I'd lost at the time, that was probably worth $600, $500. And then I find that's a good freaking day. Right.
Home run.
In 2021. Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
So it was rocking and rolling. I only say that to say,
you go yelling for your wife. You're like, high five, baby.
You mean screaming for my wife?
Yeah.
We were doing more than high fiving. I can tell you that. In fact, I got a son. He was born in March. So
oh, there we go.
I'm joking. It wasn't the time, but
it sounds like Annabelle and I on airdrop days.
Exactly right. Game time, buddy.
Hey, babe, we just got like 12 grand in airdrops. Hey,
it's win. And this as good as anybody. A little bit now means a lot of bit later. And it took me 2 bear cycles essentially to really understand that. And you know what? This go around, Brandy, all I've done has been like, dude, I am so thankful I get a break. I mean, I'm loving the bear market because what do? We've matured. You've been in space longer than me, but I've learned from you and your generation that brought up, and I was fighting, arguing with you guys, and a lot of what you guys said, I'm preaching and fighting with these dudes about now, right?
Yeah, it took a little while. It took me about 2.5, 3 years. I tell the stories of me when I owned XRP back at like 1/10 of a penny.
Absolutely.
Had a couple million, and I sold it at a 10x, and
Yep.
those kind of things. And then you got into XRP, and I tried to talk you out of it. I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
Yep.
And you still made money with it. We all did. So
not as much. Actually, Randy, had you not talked me out of it, made me sell, I would have a lot more because even today it's higher than
I talked myself out of it. I sold mine, right?
I'm kidding. I mean, I bought and sold XRP so many times, and nobody would have ever thought it would have gone to $3. I mean, it still shouldn't go to $3 today. And I know that's your biggest enemy, public enemy number one is XRP. Yeah. I'm sure it still remains
for years.
Dude, it's not nearly as bad as it used to be though. Like back then, that was like the only enemy coin, and now we got
Hedera.
Godly, it's crazy.
We got all this centralized bullshit, holochain. Oh man, so Crypto Communique says, maybe you've already addressed it as I'm a little late to class. When I set up Aurox wallet on my iOS and went on to Uniswap to check my LP, the Aurox wallet popped up instead of MM. Yeah, that is happening. You can only have one of them running because they both use the same gateway. I believe that's what's happening.
Yep. So the only way to prevent that is literally to turn off your Aurox extension when you're not using it.
Yep. Exactly. So that's happening to everybody.
Yep. I have to do it too. And I've been using my Uniswap. I mean, I've been using Aurox as a person who's playing with it right now, but there's still some tweaks and things going on. Like no one's mad at you if you got the Aurox wallet, but you're not earning your points when you're transacting, especially with your NFTs. That's really where people are going to get a lot of points from to level up the rewards.
Yeah. When is the referral program rolling out?
It's actually out now. As of today, it's live. However, there's no way to track it right now. So you can't see like how many people clicked your link. You won't know that right now. Eventually you will. And unless something's changed, and I need to be careful here too, Randy. So if this ends up being wrong, folks, blame me. Don't blame Georgie. Don't blame Aurox as a whole. This is me saying it. But originally, I know that it was a 3-layer referral program, meaning like I refer Randy, Randy refers 3 of you guys refer to me, almost MLM style. But nevertheless, you're not buying anything, right? Like it's just benefiting you in the long run. Now, but I still think they plan on doing that. But on this Q4, maybe even into Q1, I don't think that'll be live yet. I don't think it'll be live until the tracking system's up in the wallet.
Okay, great. What about hardware wallets?
Yes, not As of today, it was not, because I tested my ledger. I did not have success. That was before I had updated my Chrome extension. But it's absolutely part of the infrastructure. And we'll be actually partnering with, I say partnering, we'll be joint collabing with some giveaways and stuff within the rewards program for people to get some of these wallets.
I heard about that. And by the way, it also works with Brave, because Brave is Chrome. It's just a stripped down version of Chrome.
Yep, it does.
So
in fact, that's perfect. What I use. I'm using Brave.
Right. Yeah, I know that I'm a big Richard Hart fan. Richard Hart's always bashing Brave. He said it's garbage, but I've never had a problem with it. And I've always done my crypto stuff on Brave.
Yep, me too.
I'm not
to this day. And also because on my phone, I can use my VPN on Brave too. The VPN that Brave provides. I mean, it costs me money each month, but it's so easy because it doesn't actually affect everything else on my phone. But to that point, I don't know how you can hate Brave. It works, and it's close to decentralized security. I mean, like, at least they have your best interests in mind. I mean, I'm not saying that they're perfect. I'm not saying that this is the be all end all for decentralized browsers. No, of course not. They can't. But you have a lot of more options, and they do give you options to protect your security. So unless that guy owns like parts of Google or something, I don't understand why he hates it.
Yeah, maybe it goes back in something in history that he had an issue with in the past. I don't know, but yeah, whatever. But as far as staking Urus, I want to let everyone know that I staked mine for 5 years, and it's a 20% APY, which is pretty nice. And so mine's compounding, yep, and it's doing pretty good. So, I didn't need the money, so I just did the Hail Mary, let's throw it out there and see what happens. For those who did not know, during the bull market, Urus hit a peak of $300. Remember that day when Yorgi went on Yahoo?
Yes, I do. Because I was looking at my staked coins, being like, "Oh my gosh, this is amazing!" But
I could buy a house with this,
or two. Absolutely, yeah. It was it was a fantastic day, and I still firmly believe in the best days are yet to come. And I'm not referencing price there because I can't. But yes, to your point, it did go ballistic, and again, deservingly. I mean, it was a lot.
And my crew already know that Aurox is on the path of going public. That's been leaked out there. Everyone knows that about the Aurox team, that they're doing that. So let's they are going to go public. So I don't know. Coinbase was number one. Aurox might be number two as a team that goes out there and goes big.
But number one, DeFi.
Yeah, supportive of DeFi too, and it's all about DeFi.
Yeah,
that's where we're at.
Yep, absolutely.
So Timothy Harris says, "Hi Randy, is it possible to set up transfer into the Aurox wallet?" Absolutely.
Yep.
Just take your private key and put it in. Pop, there go.
Yep. You can have the same wallet on both Web3 wallets.
Yep. So what I would do is I know we're having issues with the Aurox wallet, with the Metamask wallet in the same browser. Just open up a new profile. It's really easy. It's just on the right, click down on either Chrome or Brave, and you just make a new profile. And that's where you can put your Aurox wallet.
That's actually exactly what I did. Is that I have Brave, that I have my my Aurox wallet on now, and my MetaMask is on my Chrome, and so I literally can have both of them up.
Yep.
And
so
they don't overlap.
I want to tell folks about the power of referrals for a second, because this is something that's going to make Aurox blow up. If you're getting 50% of all the fees right now, those fees might be small because we're in a bear market. But when the bull market comes, and then you're telling everyone and their brother about using Aurox,
yes,
and excuse me, and then you say you have 200-300 people you signed up, and those 200-300 people are doing, say, $1 million in volume per month, that is going to add up. It could be a couple $100 a day.
Yep.
That is the power of having a referral code, and the Binance people killed it. I didn't participate in that.
Yeah,
I didn't use Binance. I was still, at that time, I was still Bittrex.
Oh yeah.
I
did, by the way. I did do Binance, and it killed it. I just did not wait. I did not know. Stupid man, because when Binance hit $2, I was like, I'm out. F it.
Oh, no way.
Chinese crap ain't going to go nowhere.
So they paid you in BNB.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, no. Yep. Joe.
Hey, I still did well, man. I mean, it was free. And I turned that into other trades. Don't forget.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one thing we always forget too. Mm-hmm. Oh, I sold my XRP, but then I put my XRP into Ethereum. I sold my Ethereum, and then I put my Ethereum into something else, either ETHLend, which became Aave, or all kinds of stuff like that. So it's just slowly been building on itself. And I know what it's felt, but I know what the feeling is to be rich in crypto. And I know what the feeling is to be poor in crypto.
Absolutely.
And I know the riding of the wave. And I said this time, I teach people to take profits. You know, it's one of the things I preach here.
Absolutely.
Because I didn't take much profits in 2017.
Dude,
I'm like, hey, I'm rich. No,
I
I'm
learned
not.
from you, bro. Like, I agree. Like, it took me 3 times of getting there and losing it literally before I figured it out. And every time I was like, it's over with. I'll never get back to where I was. And every time I get smarter and I get more consistent and I participate in the things that you're saying, you know, every little piece matters, man. And if you start getting these revenues, whether it be 200 people or two people, like these things, they build up and you don't know what Bitcoin is going to be. You don't know what Ethereum is going to be one day. I mean, but yeah, let's just say you earn $1,000 in 1 year. Well, that's a lot of money actually, especially if Bitcoin goes to $1 million or Ethereum goes.
What are the referral bonuses going to be paid in?
I think they're going to be paid in Ethereum or the token that they took potentially, I guess, where they took the fee from. So
the trade from
the trading token. But I mean, honestly, it's probably going to be an Ethereum based reward system if I had to guess.
You know what my favorite thing about this wallet is? We totally skipped over it. My favorite thing about this wallet is that you can look at each one of your wallet addresses and you're going to see every coin that is in that wallet.
Oh, yes.
And every coin that's in every chain that is on that wallet.
Yep.
So it's a total cross-chain wallet. And we didn't even talk about being able to swap. Feeless swaps.
Yep.
I mean, get into that a little bit. I mean, It's not really feeless. It's just
gasless swaps.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, let me hit the first part you said. So what you just said, I completely agree. If you go to MetaMask, and obviously, I mean, I've got some Binance chain tokens. I've got some Matic tokens, you know, so on. I go onto my MetaMask. I can only see, typically they're only going to show you your Ethereum balance anyways, right? So I don't get a lot of over understanding of where I stand in my portfolio. In this case, not only do you get to see like what all your tokens are on the Ethereum network, they show you anything in your wallet is shown right there. There's no need to switch chains. Even if you're on Ethereum and you want to switch over to Matic, it doesn't change what you see at your home screen, right? And in regards to how this is so much more accommodating, not only do they have that, but you also have the ability to literally go to the markets tab and then track like the historical value of all these coins, match it with your historical value of your own portfolio. You can literally just see every little thing. It's like having CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap and like a CoinStats or Blockfolio. It's like all of these products into one place. And then you have the browser option too, once that's live. So you can literally do all the things that you need to do right there in the wallet, especially once the iOS app is good to go. You're in great shape. Now, take that and put that in your back pocket because that's a great thing. But the gasless swapping is also very, very cool. So we've all been in that situation where I've got a certain wallet that, you know, that maybe I don't want to attach my Ethereum to it or whatever it might be, right? I've ran out of Ethereum and I've got like $6 of USDT and I've got like $80 of ABC shitcoin. And I want to swap it back into Ethereum or something, or into USDT for that matter. Well, you got to have Ethereum in there to be able to swap it on the Ethereum network, obviously. Obviously, Matic and Binance much cheaper, but Ethereum specifically in this case, it might cost you $3-4. Right now, you know, I think it was pretty cheap for me to swap. I bought some Uniswap token actually the other day because I was participating in this Uniswap lottery thing. Never mind. Well, that's a
never mind. I'm not going there.
I'll keep going. Long and short is this. So I actually, you know, I was in my MetaMask wallet and I could not swap because I didn't have any Ethereum in there. I had to send it over. No big deal. But nevertheless, now in the Aurox wallet, if you don't have Ethereum, you can choose to do the gasless swapping, meaning you don't need to pay in Ethereum to do the swap. You can actually, they'll take it out of your swapping token. So if you got USDT and you're swapping, you know, your thing into USDT or into Ethereum, they'll just take the Ethereum out of the middle of the smart contract when it actually flips from one to the other.
That's beautiful. And the cross-chain thing too, you know, you'll be able to, so I had a perfect example today. So I got into Load token. Load's one of my sponsors. It's gold and silver backed crypto. And Load is on Avalanche. Okay. But I didn't have any Avalanche in the freaking wallet.
Yep.
So I had to go use Simple Swap, or I could use Change Now or whatever I wanted to use, buy some Avalanche C, and it had to be Avalanche C because it's a specific kind. There's 3 different types of Avalanche. You have to figure out which one is the native token. Man, so I had to send the Avalanche.
Frustrating.
Yeah. And then I could do the swap. What a pain in the ass.
Absolutely.
So now with our platform, with Aurox wallet, we don't have to do that anymore.
Correct.
You're going to be able to see all the coins in the same wallet, and you're going to be able to swap in and out. It just makes sense. Yeah. And someone just said that, oh, you need a different address. Do you need a different address for each thing? No, it's the same address for Avalanche, for Pulse Chain, for any EVM.
Any EVM.
Ethereum, it's all going to be the same exact address.
Yep. I mean, it'll get a little bit sticky once like Bitcoin's in there and you're swapping Ethereum to Bitcoin, but that's still going to be an option that's never really existed for DeFi before. Of course, that's not there yet because it'll be, at least Bitcoin's got to be available to be in your wallet before something like that goes on. But
well, you still got WBTC or REBBTC, whichever one you want to use.
And there are options for that. But it's still, but how exciting is this, Randy, is like, think about the options we had back in 2016, 2017, and think about where we are today. Like, it is so night and day. Like back then, Polo, like, oh my gosh, like that was like the exchange. Bittrex was up and coming. It was hot. You know, people were fighting over Bittrex or Polo, and you know, these guys are gonna be monsters.
Which one's better?
I haven't even heard either one of their names in the past how many years, dude? Like, I mean, it's just crazy now. And now that we're in this DeFi world. Absolutely. We're getting more back to the core principles, what we're supposed to be at, you know? So all this had to happen. All this crap, Luna, freaking Celsius, all these things. And I was a Celsius guy. Like I've still, I don't want to say it's lost because hopefully there will be some return, but I'm sure I'm not going to get everything back if I get anything back at all. I mean, this shit sucks, man. It takes this stuff to remind you that you don't need to rely on anything when you can rely on yourself. Like, it's just not worth it. 10% Ethereum that's not worth it. Like, what am I thinking? Like, come on, Joe.
Picking up pennies in front of freight trains.
Bro, I mean, it was so much more for me to do that. Now, given I didn't like lose millions of dollars, like some people I know, like some people lost a lot. But even, I mean, again, 10% on $5 million is a lot more than what I'm talking about. Yeah, so, you know, I think I ended up with like 26 Ethereum, which at the time when Celsius stuck us, it was worth a lot more than.
Holy crap, bro. Yeah. Still, that hurt.
Oh, it still hurts. It hurts right now in the bear market. Like, I'm like, oh shit.
Oh man. See, this is where we get our war stories from. Yep. And by the way, guys, Joe's also a U.S. Army vet.
The only way to be.
Yeah. So you know, I'm a Navy.
You were
vet,
Navy,
so,
right? Yeah.
It's like Aurox wallet hold Bitcoin, and the thing is not yet, but
not yet.
It's hopefully coming.
It's absolutely in the
can we swap Aurox right in the Aurox wallet? Of course.
Yeah. You will be able to. It's not live yet, but it will be very soon.
I can't believe Bittrex is still around.
Hey, I actually did use them the other day.
Hey, look, he said, my name is not someone, it's Scribbles, Crypto Scribbles.
I like it.
That's great.
That's right. Well said, sir.
Oh, God. This guy says, Luna cleaned out 25% of my retirement. Fuck them. I'll get it back with PulseX. Yeah. Sorry, Matt.
So.
Yeah, there was a lot of people got wiped out.
Yep.
That's why I'm so glad I'm a disciple of Richard Hart, because he got us off all the exchanges. He warned us from the beginning: do not use Celsius, do not use BlockFi, don't use any of these things where people are managing your crypto for you, not your keys, not your coins. And yes, Kieran, it's coming to iOS, just not yet.
Yep. Oh, that's Kieran. What up, Kieran?
No. Pennies in front of freight trains are the most valuable pennies there are. That's absolutely.
It can feel that way at times. There's no doubt.
Because we've seen it over and over again. We were in projects back when they were worthless, and then they became something, and a lot of them became nothing again. Like a project that we were both part of, Decent.bet. It did. It started out pretty good. It did almost a 10x, and then it went to nothingness. But
exactly. Yeah. I mean, and and I have a lot of respect for Jed. I know that a lot of people get frustrated with him, or they have their own opinions, which is fine.
He disappeared on us, man. He ghosted us.
Yeah, no, and I understand that. I don't think he ever had any bad intentions, but nevertheless, to your point, exactly right. You know, you get into these projects. I mean, I didn't sell any of that. You know, like what I had bought. I mean, what I had invested, it's still there. Unfortunately, it's never coming back, of course. You know, but anyways, yeah, exactly to your point. Yes,
I was a trader back then, so I traded in and out of it. I made my money back.
Yeah, I did not. I'm like an idiot.
Yeah. So Matt, yes, you'll be able to import your MetaMask. You can do that right away. That you don't have to wait.
You can do that right now, literally.
Yep. So RH is the man. Yeah. RH saved my ass, saved everyone's ass. Hey, Serena. One thing I have to say about the Hex Pulse Chain community, we've got more women. Our community is so full of ladies, man. It's amazing.
That's great.
It's very different than what we were used to in our old crypto coin trader group.
Yeah, the 0.5% ratio. I mean, like literally 99.5% dudes, 0.5% women, and man, those poor girls. Like if they weren't getting hit on, they were getting told to go. I mean, it's just miserable. Yeah. I mean, I've never blamed a single girl for thinking that crypto was full of sleaze bags because that's who talks to them.
And then we had like 4 guys named Wen Moon. Mego Chucky says, "Damn, this guy's been wrecked a lot, Joe."
Yeah, somehow I'm still kicking. I mean,
hey, we needed to make a movie instead of Joe Dirt. We'll call it Joe Wrecked.
Joe Wrecked. That's actually brilliant. That's brilliant. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, Joe, unless you got anything else, you wanna tell them where everyone can find out about Aurox. You know, I talk about it every night. Right.
Sure.
I use the charts every night. I'm talking about the wallet every night. So can you tell them where to go and find out about this?
Yeah. So first and foremost, you should, if you're going to download the wallet or if you haven't done it yet, please support Randy and download from his link. It's very important that you support the creators. He does a lot. He cares about you guys. And when we spoke before this, you know, he was raving about this community and how awesome you guys were and how supportive you were of him. And I know how much you mean to him. So show him that love back. Support him by using his links, whether it be Aurox or whatever. Right. Secondly, please join the Discord. I'm in the Discord every day. I'm the community director. I'm doing a lot of stuff underneath, getting ready for the mass, what I consider mass adoption of the wallet. And then, customer support's coming, all this kind of stuff. So the more that you can come in, absorb and understand, and then eventually, you're putting your link out there. People are listening to you. People are wanting to really gravitate towards your ability to teach them, and then they become the teachers, and then you're winning all around by spreading the crypto love. So come join us over there, but definitely support Randy through all his links. And I don't want to steer them any other direction. You know what I mean, Randy? So
we don't even have links yet. Don't worry. I mean, if you guys sign up,
you do have them now, though. No, you have yours. Go to your wallet right now, Randy, and then it's up. It's live as of now. Go to my Aurox on the bottom right, and then right there in the top middle is going to say invite. And then you're gonna click it, and that's your referral link. I'm by myself. What's up, everybody? It's the Joe Show. I don't know if he exited or if he accidentally clicked out. Oh man, I don't want to assume that he just wanted me to be the star. But hold on a second. I got to move so I can see these. All right. I cannot access. I can't turn this off. Bro, I was like, I guess it's the Joe Show.
That's why I don't do shit when I okay. Oops. That was
hilarious though.
That's one for the bloopers. Thank God I have fast internet.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, your internet looks great now. Whatever you did.
Yeah, I messaged Anna. I said, babe, if you're watching some HD thing, could you not? it's killing my stream.
No, it looks good. Now you're crystal clear.
Look, Joe wrecked mama.
I like it.
I like the Joe Show. You need to get back in serious. You need to get back into live streaming more because you got a personality for it.
I appreciate that, Randy. I mean, it's as you know, it can be really exhausting, and it's not like you have a community that's like very specific. Like these people want to be here when you're doing it in like these bigger like. CCT got so big, man. Like you get all these people, they just want to be assholes. It's like there's no point to it.
It's so true. I quit. Remember, I rage quit the group.
Yeah, I remember.
I rage quit my own group. I said, you guys are too negative. I'm out of here.
Exactly, dude. Exactly. Like during the bear market, it will really wear on people who mean well. Like people like myself, like you, Randy, people, the keepers of the communities, the people who you don't make it this long in crypto without having the right intentions. I'm sure there are plenty of people who have made it, but like, if you're still public and you've made it this far, you haven't been called out. You haven't been to a point where, you screwed up and you didn't own it up. And then next thing you know, you got stuff all over Reddit. If you're still here, you have the right intent. And I firmly can say this, whatever me and you've ever disagreed on, Randy, I've always had a tremendous amount of respect that you are exactly who you say you are, and you mean exactly what you say. And you've never been a liar. You've never pretended. You've never, you've never misled people intentionally. Of course, we've all learned hard lessons at times, but you've been one of you've been instrumental in my growth as a crypto guy. I went from being, this new guy, which I'm sure everybody hated me for the right reasons because I thought I knew everything. And then surely I learned because obviously I'm still here. But
then you came to Panama, and that's when our relationship really bloomed.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Hey, that's my mama right here. She says, awesome stream. Love this. I really smiled so much. Yeah.
I like it. Hey, cheers to mama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And RH the same way. He's been around since 2012 or 2011.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
pretty
he's
sure.
OG.
Yeah. And he's been dealing with the bullshit for a long time. It's to pay it forward every day. That's right.
Absolutely. But anyways, Randy, I don't want to hold
Thank
you
you
up
guys.
much. I
Yeah.
truly enjoyed this. Anytime you ever want somebody come in and bullshit with you, I'm down. And I can say this: you keep doing your thing, and y'all support Randy. Hearts, lots of likes, show him some love. Get that algorithm going, guys.
I appreciate it, everywhere. Thank you, Joe.
You got it,
Cheers.
man.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, y'all.